Okay, so finished the maroon on the lower half, and you may have noticed I've actually peeled away the masking tape around the edges of the lower half, and so we're ready to crack on with the upper part of the side panel, and that's going to have a cream colour. There's one or two things that are going to be slightly different to the lower panel. First of all, you may have noticed that I'm actually using a thinner or a smaller brush. This is a 6mm head on the brush, and the reason that is because I've got to paint the colour on a little bit more delicately than the maroon, because around the windows I don't want the paint leaking over or dripping over to the other side. This might take a little longer. Again, this is probably going to take 3 coats just as before. So I've got my thin down cream colour, exactly the same as with the maroon, and we'll crack on. We'll show you the first bit and we'll see what that looks like. First thing I want to do is get the edge sorted. If it does spill over, you just have to try and take it out, have a look. Okay, it's fine. Crack on. Alright, I don't know whether you can see, let me have a look through it. Yeah, I don't know whether you can see there, but we've got the first little section done. So go through the whole thing and I'll come back once the coat is completed. Alright, that's the first coat of cream on, and I'll get back to you once this one's had 3 coats and the other side panel's got 3 coats, and we'll take a look. So we're back again, and the cream has been applied to both side panels. I've taken all the masking tape off to do the check to see whether everything's okay before we go any further. I'll just take the fret, I'll just push that on, put that on one, get it central, and let's have a look. Just put this other one out of the way for a sec, and just check to see that the cream's everywhere where it should be and isn't where it shouldn't be on the edges. Yeah, that looks fine, so we'll take that off. Okay, so I've brought out the completed coach just to show you something. This is another view of the interior, and I'd like to draw your attention to the inside of the glazing here around the edges. You see that there? This keeps catching my eye from the first one, and I'm going to correct that with this second build that I'm showing you. The piece of wood that you see there, that is the inside of the side panel. It doesn't look that tidy if you look here with the paint here and so on, and the slightly different tones in the wood. So what I'm going to do is just put a paintbrush's width, let's say, of teak wood stain around each of the windows on the inside. So hopefully that will tidy up the look. So let's get back to the side panels. So if we take another look at the panel, then we flip it over. Let's have a look. Even though I've tried to be a bit careful, there's a couple of places right on the edge of the window frame on the inside where a bit of the paint product from the other side has come through or leaked over. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sand all this away, and then with the teak wood stain, just go round each window frame just with let's say the width of this brush with a stain. Do that a couple of times, and then that job should be done. So I'll just take a look at this one first. what I'm going to do with a tiny flat screwdriver, just get rid of most of the paint if I can. Being careful not to go over the edge if you can. Okay, what I've got now, I've got 240 grade sandpaper, and I'll just give that, holding it still, give this a little rub. See if we can get rid of it. There we go, that's enough. Job done. So I'll move across and I'll do the rest. I'll come back to you when I'm going to start staining. So this side of the panel is prepared. There's no paint residue, let's say, around the frames. So I'm using a 4mm width flat brush, and I'm using the acryl based teak wood stainer that I used for the door openings on the other side. So we'll just, it doesn't have to be that, just give it a go. It doesn't have to be that intricate. I think what I'm going to do actually is with a bit of kitchen towel, see if we can wipe off any excess there. Going around. Don't really want it going over to the other side. And I'll just crack on with this, the whole length, 2 applications of the teak varnish for both panels, and then we'll get back to you. I'll show you when it's done. So the staining around the inside of the holes for the windows, that's done. I've actually just settled with the 1 coat of stainer. That's I think that's more than enough, and we'll crack straight on with the next part of the build. Okay, the next stage is quite significant, and that is we are going to actually fit the side panels to the basic frame of the coach. And it's a Bowsider, so what we have, we can't just glue it straight on, because the lower half here, that needs to curve inwards and dry at the same time, and it has to be an equal curve along the whole length really, otherwise you're going to get a sort of wavy motion. So when I bought the first coach that I did, I actually bought another package from Lineside Hut, and that is a Jig Set. This is part of the Jig Set, and with this, let me see, I don't know whether you can see that, but there's actually, this is going to, there's a curve here, so the idea is that we line the side panel onto the basic frame of the coach, and then we place the jig on top, and then we weight it down equally, so that then hopefully the side panel will glue itself to the skeleton of the coach, and we'll have the curve in the lower half. Just a quick tip before we start: the side panel, the paint, that's been on there for a good week, so it needs to be really hardened off. Alright, I've just placed the side panel into the jig, just bent it in a little bit. I'm actually going to turn it round so I can put some of these bits of tape on. Something like that. Other side here. So I'll just keep doing that all the way along. The masking tape's on. The next stage is to put the glue on the pieces where it needs to be. Okay. Let's see if we can do this now. Turn this around. Here we go. Feeling with my hands to see if there's a protrusion at both ends is the same, and it is. So now we need to put some books on it. So I'll put some books on it. Okay. I appreciate all you can see in the video now is books, but I need to have a lot of weight on there. Let me show you another angle. So here we are looking at it from the side. That's the underside of the base, and I've got a series of books on the outside. Now you can see that the end is really pressing on, the side is really pressing against the end because of the weight of the books on top. So I'm going to leave that now for 24 hours for the wood, for the glue to dry completely, and then we're going to try and get the jig back off. So we'll see you then. So we're back again. It's been 24 hours since that side has been glued on. So let's take the books off and see what we've got. I'm just looking to see if the ends, yeah, it's mounted equally. I'm just looking at the other side to see if the sections are equally spaced between the windows. That looks fine. So let's see if we can get this jig off now. Yeah, that's it. So there we have, if you look at the side profile, then the curve in the lower part of the side of the coach where the Bowsider name comes from, and that's one side done. We've now come to the end of this video, so I hope to see you in the next one where I'll have both sides done and then we can crack on.